Welcome to Efteling Bosrijk Resort. This, I'm afraid, I have a bit of a soft spot for. We've been coming to stay in this one for many years. It really is the heart and soul of the accommodation, heavily themed, just beautiful. We're going to take a full tour around, show you all the facilities and some of the magic that makes this one very special. Join us. First thing I want to show you before we go into the restaurant and reception is the first view that greets you as you come through with your keys. Look at this. We'll have a walk round here. I'll show you some of the accommodations. We know from first-hand experience, we've stayed here many times in many different accommodations. But look at that. This is old Efteling. So coming through back round to reception, you've got the badhuis, the swimming pool. Again, it's very themed in there. Good facilities. This is the entrance to the poorthuis, which is the apartments that you can rent based in this building. Now that's all well and good if you don't want to walk too far. There is another one called the Landyhuis, which is down the back, which we'll show you, which has got the same level of apartments, VIP as well, but it's a little bit more special, I think. But we'll do that later. It's right down the far end of that lake. So we've got a really cool bar and restaurant in here. Again, it's the theming that makes this one. It's got a really funky little shop with a bakery, dead friendly reception, and the food's a bit more accessible, I find, in here. You can pre-order your bread in here as well. We've got pretty much everything you need. Some base provisions. See if we can sneak over into the restaurant. Get pizza delivery here as well, straight to the rooms and the houses. I'm not going to talk too much because there's people eating their lunch, but I want to show you behind the bar. It's like an old distillery from the fairy woods. Even when it's busy, how nice is it out here, just away from the main restaurant? It's fully heated, probably a bit quieter to be honest. This backs onto the square that has more like the old-fashioned Dutch houses. We'll have a little walk round there. Great option on accommodation as well. Hey, you've got the car park literally next to it. Huge great car park. And again, once you've got your tickets, walk straight ahead where those people are. You're about 4 or 5 minutes from the main entrance. When you get up there, bear right. Do not go to the main entrance. Bear right. There is a VIP entrance which you can use as a guest of Bosrijk. Saves you quite a bit of time. Give you a little lay of the land. So we are down at the poorthuis. You've seen the lake. Down here is the townhouses, but it's spread all the way around, and this is where we want to take you up to, the Landyhuis at the back. You can order your bread and pizzas straight off this screen in reception, contactless, delivered straight to your room. Another beautiful thing staying here is in the evenings. It's so nice, it's all lit up. You can go for a wander, you can go and have a beer and some food. And more importantly, at about 5:30 to 6 o'clock, Glassworks Castle with Who Do You Do over there, we'll get nearer it, closes down, and it's all done to music. You can watch them going up the stairs to bed, packing up, and then it goes off for overnight. Obviously these on the right are your premiums, your lakeside houses, 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms. We've stayed in both of these on occasions. They are a bit special, but I must say in the winter you don't use the terrace as much. By the time you get out of the park it is freezing, but they have got saunas on those sheds on the lakeside, so well worth it in the summer. It is just fabulous here. The other, we're probably going to ramble because I do love this place. When you come out the park, you don't break the theming. That's what we like. You walk from the park over here and you never really step away from the Efteling theming and the magic. Whereas staying off site, you do lose that as soon as you exit the park. This just keeps it going right through until you go to bed. A myriad of Woodland houses. Stayed in many different ones of these. It is also a little tip we've learned over the years. We booked an apartment once, a VIP apartment level as they call it on the website, and I just happened to ask at reception, hypothetically, how much would it be to upgrade to a Woodland house for the 2 of us, and it was 20 euros a night. So we jumped on that. We were only here for 4 nights, so 80 euros we bounced from an apartment to a house. So off season it is worth an ask. You can get some bargains, you can get some upgrades. So we're coming past the lakeside houses over to Glaswerks Castle. This is a nice thing to do in the evening. Grab a mulled wine or a hot chocolate and come over here and watch this island in the dark. Plays music. Who do you do? The owl is on patrol now, but he'll be putting on his show later. And look at these. I think he does do a little bit during the day as well. I have heard some music and lights going. They've got some massive accommodations here for groups. Look at this one on the left. That's got to be a 16-person unit, pretty much lakeside, and another one on the other side of the lake there and behind that, so I'm sure they get many groups. There's a few more lakeside houses there. I've got to walk round to this one. This looks like a Texan ranch. Look, something out of Dallas. Look at the size of that. It's all one unit. Absolutely beautiful and right on the lake. There are dozens of these Woodland houses, varying from 3 bedroom to 4 bedroom, standard to VIP. VIP tends to have the sauna, slightly better bathrooms, and I think you get welcome pack towels, etc, etc. The final option for accommodation here is the old Dutch townhouses, which are near the beginning, so we'll head back over there, but first I want to show you a secret at the back here. Huge kids play area over the back here. So as I was saying at the beginning, you could stay in the apartments at the beginning, which are very nice, don't get me wrong, or you can walk just a little bit further to the back here, and you have to specify you want this. It's called the Landiehuis, and there's this big castle building. We stayed here one very early in December, and I swear we were the only people staying in the entire building, which meant at night we could explore all the ballrooms and conference rooms, etc. It was truly like being in The Shining. See if we can get around the front and maybe even in. So here you go, the Landiehuis, or the Landhuis. We call it Landiehuis. It's like a castle and all the apartments go off to the sides, but there's not that many people staying. So if you want a quieter time, there are quite fond memories of this. This was where we first stayed when we first came over in latter years. First time I was here was 1977. I don't even think this existed. But it's not going to let us in without a key card, so we'll have to make do with the outside. But it's quiet. It's a little bit more, I think, a little bit more glamorous than at the front in the Portiehuis. and there's no through traffic. And we've just seen a guy coming round with the pizza truck, so they will deliver your pizza all the way out here, and then obviously we carry on with the Woodland houses and my friend the dog. Little bit of footage, take you around some of the wood houses. They are so cool. Where can you stay like this? And they're well themed inside as well. They've been a bit guilty of stripping back on the theming a little bit here and there. I noticed in the restaurant, Bosrijk's main restaurant, they've stripped away some of the heart of the Efteling theming, the big picture, the collage behind the bar. It's all very well being modern and maybe upping. The menu is better, I'll give them that, but maybe don't keep stripping away at what brings people here, which is the fairy tale charm of Efteling. I know the houses have still got it because we were here not that far back, but it's little charming things like they give you night hats and storybooks and all that. It's a very child thing, but it's also the artworks on the walls in the houses. They're all very much the characters following through with Klaasvark, the wizard, and who do you do. And that's another thing, tea time over on the main entrance. I think it's about 6:30. Klaasvark will wheel up. He's based on probably what the English would know as the Sandman, and his partner and the owl, who do you do, and they tell stories. It's in Dutch, but it's charming, and it's basically a way of them throwing sand in the air and saying to the kids, right, time for bed, grown up time. Gonna have a sneak round the front of Southfork Ranch. I'm just curious to see how big this is inside. It looks massive. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 outside seats, so it must be for at least that many people. I'm gonna keep going around the front here. I'll look at these doors, see if I can get the camera on it. Not the easiest with this light, but it's huge inside, and seating for another 12. I don't know how I'm supposed to get back now because the bridge is there. I'll make a bit of off-roading, I'm sure no one will mind. We had a terrace here on one of the houses. My partner was putting some bread and seeds out, and one morning for breakfast we had a red squirrel and a greater spotted woodpecker right on the terrace, which was incredible. And also, if you've got a lakeside here, you can bring in an army of ducks and seagulls with just a bag of seeds. Right, we're going to head over the back now to the townhouse village. Gives you a good example then of their accommodations, and maybe from the video you can see why this would be our choice. It's just such a lovely place, and you really just are completely connected to the park. You don't need your car at all. I made it back onto the bridge. Very quiet today. I was saying about the Dutch do seem to like an upgrade, but you do have to ask. They're a bit shy to put it forwards, but where we are, we're off site at Landal at the moment because I've got the dog and they're just a bit better equipped. And I went into reception and said, don't want to go home. How much, hypothetically, if I wanted to stay Monday to Friday? Again, and expecting probably 600-700 euros, and they came back, well, we won't charge you this, we won't charge you booking fee, etc, etc. And I paid 294 euros for a 4-bedroom house, detached, for Monday to Friday. So it doesn't look like we're going back just yet. Okay, this is the Dutch themed village. Each of these are individual houses, they're not apartments. They vary in sizes, but there's some really beautiful accommodations here, and it doesn't always bling up when you're looking to search for a booking. So another tip, they don't really mind how many people are in your group because it doesn't really impact the price. So if there's just 2 of you, instead of putting in 2 on your search, put in 6 and see what comes up, because it will bring in all these houses and they're not really too worried if only 2 of you come. As long as you pay the price for 6, which there isn't a lot of difference, they actually are in theory saving on the park entrance tickets. But we do that all the time, at least 4, sometimes 6, and it does give you a lot more choice. And these are right on the restaurant as well. And you're completely safe here because if anything untoward occurs, you've got the Efteling Fire Brigade in their little truck. I'm sure it's actually doubling up as a pizza delivery truck, who knows. Well, that's my best stab at giving you a taste of Bosrijk. Like I said earlier, I am a bit biased, but I can hand on heart recommend staying here if you're looking at your options. If you're looking for a hotel room, that's different, but if you're looking for a bit of quality, good theming, peace and quiet, then this is where you should head. Efteling Bosrijk in all its glory. So until our next video, I'm off for a coffee and we bid you farewell.